question. Can I downstream it?
Apex is in the house.
Big Rob, yo. What's up, Big Rob?
We got Big Rob in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
We got 4 people. Keeps on ticking up. Everybody's coming in, man.
Everybody leave a comment. Give us a name, location. We'll give you a shout out. Like to see where everybody's at. That's so fun finding out like what state they in.
A-line parking lot striping says.
A-line parking lot striping. We don't know him. He's a shyster.
He says, yo, I'm coming by.
Hey, come bring me some coffee, big man, Big Ben. Hey, I'll take decaf with 2 sugars, 2 creams, I think.
Ferris Yasin says the Lion King, Jacksonville, Florida.
Nice. Jacksonville, Florida is a huge market over there. We actually talked to a guy out there pretty regularly that does pressure washing and striping. That place is booming.
A-line says 10-4.
One time, me and A-Line was in a drive-thru at a McDonald's, and he told that lady, give him 6 sugars, 6 creams at McDonald's. And she said, you like your coffee sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Get it loaded down.
Victor says, have a blessed night, brother. Keep up. Victor Nenartavis, Orlando, Florida.
Awesome, Victor, man. Thanks for hopping in here for saying hello. We appreciate you.
Ferris says, plenty of work, exclamation mark.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be out here all night. A-Line better bring us some coffee. A-Line's my competition, but, you know, he's buying a big old new house. Like, dang near 4 stories tall. He sent me a picture of it. I was jealous.
Big Rob says, putting in my largest bid to date.
Whoa, man, that's what I'm talking about. I like those bids where you bring home enough money to buy a new vehicle. Those are the nice ones. I mean, like cash money, where you ain't worried about interest rates and are they going to finance you or are they not, and all that rigmarole. Just slap cash on the table.
A-Line says, y'all spraying lines twice?
We are. These are really wide, and so we're doing left side, right side A-Line. We just felt it would be a little bit better, sharper edges than try to do them all in one pass. Plus, this kind of counts as a double coat too, or a coat and a half. So they're getting their money's worth for sure out of this one. Use a little more paint, but the job lasts longer, looks longer. I mean, looks great, much longer.
Arthur says, I'd be all over this, but guess what? I live in California and I need a license for that.
Yeah, they require a painter's license. I don't think that's that difficult to take. From my understanding of it, it's a few EPA rules in there when you do a painter's license. They definitely don't want you, you know, throwing paint down drains. Obviously, that would be dumb. Also, painting in wet areas, bathrooms, that sort of thing. Different types of paint you use. But I know a couple guys that took it out on the East Coast. I think they blew right through it. It was like 15-minute little test. I could be wrong out there in California. I know they get a little more complicated, but need to check into it because it's well worth it. Whatever you got to do to get into striping, I urge you to do it.
Big Rob says $9,085.
Oh, right, man. That's a 10K job.
Yes,
even if you pulled in 60% profit on it, you still, hey, you get a few of those each month, you're setting good.
Yeah, let's walk and talk here. Mike Jones says, how's it going, fellas? Just in time.
Big Mike is in the house. Mike Jones. Mike, where you from, brother?
Big Rob says 3 buildings. Big one is 40,000 square feet.
Not bad. Soft washing, I'm sure. You doing the roof on it too, or just the exterior walls, sidewalks, or?
James Bass says, playing in the parking lot again, are we?
Man, we like playing out here, brother. One of my favorite places to stripe. Nice and quiet. Got good, pretty decent lighting. You know, we use that headlamp, but you could stripe this without a headlamp if you really wanted to. But we've worked in some dark places where there was no lighting. I mean, you couldn't hardly see your hand in front of your face out there. So when you're using headlamps, it's good, but also you got to watch these shadows. fool you, and you could end up striping somewhere you don't want to stripe. We're not going to do that.
Mike Jones says Toronto, Canada.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know where. I've talked to him before.
A-Line says oil paint, question mark.
Yeah, this is solvent-based paint, A-Line. Mike, y'all hitting some cooler weather yet, brother? Yeah, A-Line, we're using some oil-based paint, solvent-based paint here. Tomorrow night we'll be blowing some latex, so just really depends on, each surface that we're doing. Look what I got, y'all.
Yeah, brand new.
It's a Craftsman. We tried to get a what was another name?
Husqvarna,
but they didn't have any there. So it's kind of like right now, get what you can get. Don't throw a fit. I had another one. Apex put real gas in it instead of 2-cycle. Then he blamed it on Big Chris. And then I was like, man, what y'all doing? And then they started circling me like they was gonna whoop me. I'm gonna tell them, yeah, Apex. Put real gas in a 2-cycle.
Yeah, real gas and real oil.
You sure?
I think
you use the right gas can?
I think it was the extreme duty cycle. We were doing so much striping.
Probably so.
And the heat and everything, a little Ryobi. It couldn't keep up.
It was a Ryobi. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I think it was pretty. It was bright, kind of like a shirt.
Yeah, I did like it, but we got a good quality Craftsman. I mean, it is quality, but Craftsman.
It's decent. Yeah, I mean,
I put Craftsman a step up. That's my opinion.
It's got really good pressure when you pull the rope. You can feel that little piston in there hitting hard. Guys, also I want to mention, I don't know how many of y'all on 22 people. If y'all looking for the all-pro parking lot striping course, there's not a link in the description because we hadn't done all that yet to it. But BillyDavidsonVIP.com, it's on there. I get people every day text me, how can they get the striping course? And I get it. A bunch of new people to the channel. We appreciate every one of them. And they just don't know. They wanting to get into this striping, and they need somebody to help them do it. So A-Line can attest to it. A-Line, if you're still on there, he also started out on his hands and knees, and we didn't know a thing when we first started. But now, man, the good news is you're good to go, man. We almost. I kind of want to tell a testimonial, but I don't have the guy's permission to mention his name, but he's out in Tennessee area, Nashville, pressure washing, started adding striping, and he made $1 million last year striping. And, and Nashville's not the biggest town in the world. They got a lot of money there, but you don't necessarily have to make $1 million. What if you just make a third of that striping? A fifth of it.
That's still life-changing money.
What if you only did $200,000 in striping a year? He did $1 million in striping.
Dude.
He took the course. It took him some time to get on his feet. 6 months later, he was texting. I kind of lost him in the mix a little bit. I had him program his number in my phone. Kind of lost him in the mix, and I would hear back from him occasionally. He was like, he's getting his equipment, and I was like, awesome. He'd send me pictures of it and stuff. And, $1 million in 2020 during COVID. And, what can you say? I wish the guy, I hope he does 10 times this year that amount, because I want to see him do good. He's a hard-working fellow. Sometimes this is not easy. It's nighttime out here. We work today. We're working tonight. I kind of ready for bed, but we're gonna be out here a few more hours and make thousands of dollars. So this is. I'd rather this keep me up at night, Apex, than other worries like, is the electricity gonna be shut off tomorrow? That'll keep you up too.
Ain't that the truth?
So
man?
I'd rather this keep me up. Getting good questions?
We've got multiple.
Let's hit them.
Okay. A-Line says 20-minute dry time.
Probably not even that out here. We might have 7 minutes, 8 minutes.
Big Rob says just the buildings for now, although sidewalks needed, parking lots need to be done on 2 of the properties.
Hey, go after the dumpster pads too. If they have them dumpster pads, man, you're in there now. Go back. You might not make a ton of money. You're not gonna get rich doing those dumpster pads, but it keeps you in their face. It keeps invoices rolling in. You become their go-to guy, And man, I could write a book on that. The money I've made by being there for my customer through thick and thin. You know, when times are good, when times are bad, you're always there to service their needs, and you can have some very large contracts be opened up for you.
Staying for JT says, where are you from?
So we're right here near Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You might can tell some of our accent. Apex especially.
Yeah, that Rouge, man.
You have a little Cajun accent.
Yeah, I'm what happens if you mix the city boy accent with the country boy accent. Okay.
Yeah, Baton Rouge is a beautiful town. It's it's got its overall, it's a gorgeous town to visit. Y'all ever in the area? Hammond too. We got our flaws and stuff. Our cities aren't perfect, but most of these people around here are extremely helpful. Hospitality is their thing, and the food is amazing. As you might can all tell, we're gaining weight, Apex. We've been eating good, huh?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Okay.
Everybody give a shout out to Apex. He closes on his house in a few days. Congratulations, Mr. Apex. You're going to get them golden keys in your hand, huh?
Hopefully, man. I'm not counting my chickens till they're fully hatched and the fat lady sang.
Yeah, you'll close on them.
And Mike Jones says, well, before I talk about him, guys, I'm telling you, pressure washing and parking lot striping especially, working with Billy, it's brought me into a very good income, very, comfortable life. I'm not worried about things that I used to worry about. I'm not worried about gas. I'm not worried about food. I'm not worried about my bills.
So if gas fluctuates 10 or 15 cents a gallon, it matters not.
It's negligible to me. I used to, when I was poor, it was like doing math problems all day, man. Like now I don't have to worry about any of that.
I've seen people literally pull up to the pump and get $3 or $4 of gas in a big old SUV. And that obviously, if they had the money, they'd fill it up, and we can't solve everyone's problems, but there's a bunch of people out there that can start washing and striping and have a little more financial freedom.
Yeah, and actually, I did a striping job the other day. And guys,
by yourself?
By myself. I've seen everything in Billy's course. I filmed a lot of it, and I'll tell you what. I got a picture here. You mind if I show them? Well, I'll tell you what. I got another picture.
Yeah, that's a good picture.
There's a good picture. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you can show a phone in a phone.
It'll work. So guys, check this out. This is a job that I did by myself using the techniques that I learned in Billy's course and, with my time working with them.
And they paid you on it?
They paid me. They were extremely happy. Look how sharp that is. Look how beautiful that came out.
That was Sunday where I had to take a day off. I was pretty much... You got paint in there? Yeah, I had to take a day off that day. So Apex went and soaked it up, huh?
Yep, got the check. They were very happy.
But be honest, was you a little bit nervous or you had the confidence?
I had the confidence. I mean, this is something that I've done 1,000 times with you. It's just another day in the office for me.
But by yourself, then?
Actually...
You felt the weight of it, I'm sure.
Well, it's a double-edged sword. So I did have everything on my shoulders, but since it's my job and I can take forever and make sure that I do everything at my, I had a bit less pressure to work quickly. I was able to,
You didn't have a lot of overhead, that's why.
Yeah.
You didn't have 15 other customers saying, when am I next?
Yeah, I was able to, I'll tell you what, and you were talking to one of the guys earlier on a phone call about this. I did that pallet like a complete artist, like.
Show them what a pallet is. This is what we call a pallet, guys. An entire row of parking. I don't know even where the term came from, but that's what we've always called it and other people in the industry. That's what we talk about when we say a pallet, a complete subsection of a parking lot, basically.
Yep, and when we're pressure washing, when we see these big squares of concrete, we call these panels.
I'm gonna set this down.
All right. Oh, we got a lot of comments. Okay. Got 22 people in here, 11 likes. We appreciate that, guys.
Walk over here while you're answering some of those questions. I'm going to show them something.
All right. Rubik says, congrats, Apex. Wild West says, hell yeah, Apex. Big Rob.
Big Wild West, man.
Yeah, Big Rob says, congrats, Apex. Jason says, hey, man, I'm from Hammond also, and I'm starting a pressure washing business, and I would like to know what insurance did you go through? Jason Jefferson.
So, Jason, good friend of mine, Dawn at Steel Insurance. If you text me tomorrow, I'll get you her information. She can sell in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Texas. If you're not in one of those states and you need her email address, I'll maybe try to put that in one of the comments later tonight once we finish. But she can line you up on the correct insurance provider. And guys, there is a lot of mistakes when buying insurance. And of course, in the striping course, we go over a bunch of that. But having someone that's on your side that wants your best interest at heart means the world, and this lady really does. She's got plenty already. She's been in insurance all her life, so of course she makes a great living, but she really takes each individual person and curtails that insurance policy around exactly what you're doing. You can go buy a blanket policy and pay out the nose for it, or you can dial it in to your specific trade and be rated at code, and there's called a rates and codes. And so yeah, anyway, Steel Insurance in Hammond, Louisiana. I think it's spelled Stihl. But yeah, her name is Dawn. And anyone interested, I can give you her information. I don't make anything off it. I'm just so passionate about it because she's done so well by us and other people we know.
Yeah, Mike Jones says, congrats, Apex. That's a huge goal. Chase your dreams, brother.
Come over here, I'm going to show you something.
All right.
So guys, whenever you're striping lines, here, let me see that. I like this little, what's this little selfie stick?
Yeah.
Okay, whenever you're striping lines, a lot of times what we have is washback from rain. Whenever you have a grass curbing here and then your line meets this, sometimes this washback will occur several feet into the parking line. Sometimes 2 feet, sometimes 3 feet. That really needs to be cleaned off very well. You can't paint over that, especially if it's got organics in it. But you can broom that off, blow it off. Sometimes you got to power wash, sometimes you got to wire brush it. But don't paint over that dirt, because what'll happen a few days later, that paint gets washed away because it's not sticking anything, it's sticking to that dirt. But that's a really big culprit of not doing good work, is making sure where that washback is over, where the rain hits it and it floods back into this area, that little bit of line right there will have a lot of debris and trash on it. Don't paint over it for sure. Let's see what comments here. Now, another question I get commonly, this is a prime example of these cracks here. We don't do anything with that. We just paint right over it. Now, if the customer wants those filled, we will. Of course, it's an extra charge. But needless to say, if there's grass growing up through these cracks, go ahead and pull that out. Don't paint over grass. It looks terrible. All right, what else we got? Got a few A-line.
Okay, John Cormer says, please tell me more about your yard sign placement course.
So you can go to BillyDavidsonVIP.com. If you can check the description of all my YouTube videos, it's in there. We developed a course on yard signs, guys. And yard signs was my problem area for years in marketing. I would go put out yard signs, and like even Apex knows, we were washing this dealership one time. We put out 5 yard signs out front, and they were stolen. Like, while we were there working, someone stole them. So I got to thinking about it, developed a strategy where I place my yard signs. They stay there for months, and they make me a ton of money. And sometimes you got to go replace them. Storm comes through, that sort of thing, snow plow, whatever. But then very, very particular places. The name of the course is How I Made $5,000 with One Yard Sign. I've had tons of testimonials. But guys, honestly, it's not $5,000. I've made $30,000 off of 1 yard sign in 2 weeks. And that was because of, I got in the neighborhood and stuff. But it ultimately came from that 1 yard sign. And also, that 1 yard sign stayed at that location, and it kept producing and producing like a plant, man. I mean, it was just amazing. And every now and then, I go check on it. If it's gone, most of the time it stays there about two to 3 months. If it ever leaves, I put another one there, and it's what we call a deep fishing hole there. I mean, just keep pulling fish out of there every time we go. So go check that out. It's 90 something dollars for the course. It's a short course. It's nothing fancy, but I'll tell you what, the information in it will change the way you do yard signs from here on out. I promise you that.
Yep. And they're asking where to find the striping course.
Billy Davidson, VIP.com, Billy Davidson, like Harley Davidson, Davidson. V is in Victor, IP is in Paul.com. Or you can check out the link in most of my videos. Could we type it in there, Apex? I think, or maybe somebody can for us.
I would have to join the stream and type it with my phone.
From your phone.
Yeah. I'll type it in for you guys.
All right. He's going to type in the website. And right now the course is approximately 9 or 10 hours long. I don't even know exactly how long it is because we've been adding to it under the additional learning tab. So I haven't actually counted up the data and the minutes of it. But it's very extensive. It goes over all this ADA stuff. It took us months to develop. Traveled to several different states, filming things. And
all right, guys, and I'm posting the comment now. There you go, BillyDavidsonVIP.com.
Yep, that's it. And guys, one thing I want to tell you, when you join the course, make sure you use the proper email address. I'm world's worst about it. Sometimes I misspell my own name, but make sure this time, pay attention, type in your correct email address perfectly, and then they will send you a username and login information to the course. It's all automated through a computerized system. And if you don't see it instantly, check your spam folder. And if somehow it gets filtered out, contact me, because I want to make sure you get the product that you need, because it's going to be very important for you to, if you're taking that big step to get into it, and I don't want you hanging around for 2 or 3 days and wondering where your course is. So I don't care what time it is, in the morning, night, whatever, get in touch with me, and I'll get that information to you within a few hours of that usually. So, but just remember your proper email address. It's had it several times where someone puts an N instead of an M or something in their email address, and obviously it's going to kick it back. And but sometimes we know if it gets kicked back, and then we will try to hunt you down. I was hunting down a guy the other day out in Arizona. I was looking for him on Facebook. Remember that?
Yeah.
I couldn't find him. He eventually texted me.
Reese Wash says, why would someone even steal a yard sign? Not like they can sell it.
No, they do it for competition reasons. Another thing about yard sign guys, sometimes it's against city code just to be plastering these yard signs up everywhere. You can get littering tickets. The city will talk to you about it, or the county. And where we put our yard signs, there's none of that. And it's right in the middle of the city. So I want to give it all away. I want to make some sandwich money if someone gets the information, because I know, you're going to go make $10,000, $15,000 easily off of it.
Yep. And Dion Brown, congratulations, man. He says, I started a striping business last month from watching your channel. I'm in Central Mississippi. Thanks.
Awesome. Dion, is that what you said his name is?
Dion Brown. Dion,
Mr. Brown. Well, we are proud to be a part of your future and of your success. So I know you're going to be very successful with it. If you need some help, reach out to me. It's all in the course as well. But if you go through the course and you need some help with something, don't hesitate to let us know.
Wild West says, why is Big Chris the only one we ever see working? Just kidding.
Big Chris loves striping. He gets paid per line, and Apex gets paid per hour. So you want to show him how to stripe? Or you want to read comments?
Well, he's all dialed in and warmed up. I'm just going to...
Boy, this paint smells so good. I don't know if I'm addicted to it or not. You smell it?
That's the smell of money.
Smell of money, huh? God, I love the way that paint smells, though.
It's like, I could stripe, but I'm just going to keep reading these comments. Unless, it's up to you. I don't care.
All right, we got a good few minutes hopping in here.
Yeah, we've got 34 people online in the stream.
Hey, guys, if you do us a favor and hit that like button, that'll help with the YouTube artificial intelligence. So we'd appreciate you hitting that like button. And got a comment coming in there.
And you can make that handle longer or shorter, whatever.
Oh, it's perfect like this. This is so much better.
Yeah, I'm able to get 2 hands on it, get real steady shots. Okay, so walking down the comments. Yuri Bezmanov says, All Pro Striping Incorporated, West Palm Beach, Florida, says hi.
Absolutely. I spoke to him today.
Yeah.
Wasn't he? Yeah, a little earlier. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I spoke to him and he texted me something. So, yep. Good deal. West Palm Beach. That's where we need to be in about a couple weeks or so.
Yeah. And Jason Jefferson says, thanks, Billy. Big inspiration.
Thanks, Jason, for those kind words. West Palm Beach is a beautiful, beautiful place to visit for vacation. Like, what we probably need to do, guys, is force ourselves, just get in the truck and leave, right? And just go on vacation. We ain't been nowhere all year, really, other than out of town to work.
Yeah, all right. The Big Rob.
All right, I'm listening.
Big Rob just got the sandwich money, man. $4.99.
Big Rob, thank you, sir, so much. What is that? What's that called?
Super Chat.
Super Chat. I never even realized what it was. But yep, Super Chat.
Mike Jones says, y'all have the best crew on YouTube. Prove me wrong.
There we go. I agree. I might be a little biased. Guys, I say this all the time, and I'm going to say it again, because I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but I don't have a filter either on my mouth, but we don't just have a YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is secondary. It's very important to us. We've met a lot of friends on here, and some of these guys have become like family to us, but we're not out here just making videos for YouTube. We're working, and that's why our videos kind of suck. They shaky. We stumble over our words. We don't have a script we're going by. I've never had a script, but some of these other guys has gotten a little bigger than us. I'm happy for them, but they reading off of a script inside of a studio with a mic, and y'all getting the real deal. Like, my feet are wet because I seriously stepped in a mud hole over there on the other side. But this is nothing, what they call it, fluff here, right?
Yeah. Big Rob says, I purchased your online pricing course for striping a while back. I'm not set up for it yet. Hopefully next year.
Awesome, yeah. Yeah, that's going to help you out with the pricing too. We teach the pricing in it. The pricing is important, guys. I always say, if you're not getting the right money, you're not going to want to do the job. So, it's important that you're charging enough and you are motivated to come do it, because working for free sucks. I've done it before.
And guys, he talks about getting set up next year. Y'all can go out and stripe without the big machine. It's possible. You get some starting cash, you build up, you get the course, you knock a few jobs out, you buy a brand new machine. It's very possible. That picture I showed y'all, that was
without a machine.
No machine.
And you learn how to do that by watching the videos. And you get professional results, professional pay, on and so forth.
Yep. And I learned how to price it in the course as well.
How much we got in the bucket?
We got about 1/4.
We probably need to go back and refill here once you get to the end of this pallet.
Arthur says, I want to get the hell out of California. Any suggestions where pressure washing / window cleaning and paint striping is a good trade to be in?
Here, for sure. I would say, I'm with you on that. If you go north and you go into Washington, Oregon area, it's a lot of washing up there, obviously, because of the humidity. And if you get on back east past the Rockies, you get into middle of America, then the East Coast, all of that, the Carolinas. And California is good too. Look, if I was in California, I would make it work. And unless you just want to leave. But California is constricting a lot of people. I'm no expert on it, but I've never been out that way. But I talk to a lot of people. They struggle as entrepreneurs out there. But, you can make millions wherever you at. We know a guy that doesn't even live in the United States is striping and making millions of dollars doing it. And he would be pretty much considered almost like, one of these dictatorships where he lives. So, if you got family there and stuff, maybe it's not worth moving. Maybe if it is, personal preference,
Yep. I'm going to answer Mike's question real quick, and then we got another question.
All
so,
right.
Mike, a few places to find some good po' boys are one, Pontchartrain po' boys, and then another place, New Orleans po' boys, and then Motorcycle is Life is asking, who do you recommend for marketing to generate commercial jobs?
So guys, what I do in our marketing thing, I used to do it all. Like I would come to work 12, 14 hours a day. I would go home, send off invoices, do my marketing, try to keep tax stuff together. It was just incredible. Well, now I have someone that helps me with my marketing, and she's phenomenal. And basically, what we do an email marketing campaign. We send out emails to very specific organizations and companies and industries, and our email body is built in a very specific way that's attention grabbing but not overbearing, because it can turn someone off. You're too salesy on an email. You send an email at the wrong time of the day, you get little results. So this lady helps me. She's incredible with it. She's not cheap, but we've netted $200,000 or $300,000 off our email campaign in just a few months of revenue, and I paid her, I don't know, a couple thousand during that period. So it's not guaranteed results, but the email marketing could be a big game changer, along with doing your Google My Business, along with doing your yard signs. You can do yard signs for striping all day long. We get a ton of work off of striping signs. So I'm in like a gumbo approach. Everything in a pot. With marketing, everything goes in a pot. Now, obviously, if you out there working some long shifts and all that, you may need some help with it too as well.
And speaking of commercial jobs, we just dropped a new course.
Oh yeah, how to estimate commercial power washing jobs. Amen. I've been tempted to take that one down, because it's a couple $100, but you got sample contracts and all of that, and I tell all my secrets. So someone here locally gets it, I'll be competing against them, I guess, especially sample contracts.
Wild West says, tell them why Big Chris is double lining.
Big Chris is double lining because we have some very wide lines out here. We have a tip that will spray these lines, but I feel that the edges come out a little bit better if we double coat it, do one side and then do the right side, then the left side. In addition to that, we're putting down a little bit extra millage, because it's a big place. Got a lot of heavy vehicles coming here. So for the customer's sake, the job's going to look better. It's going to last longer. They're paying us for it, obviously. But also for our sake too, we know we're putting down an excellent product for them, excellent service. So that's why we double coating. This is not all the time we have to do that, but in certain locations we will. Of course, we talk about that in the striping course as well. Yeah. We need to grab some paint here on the ground. Guys, we was actually out here washing and striping. We did some washing earlier in an area where we don't have to stripe. And
Sylvester says, great job, guys. #1 fan from Los Angeles.
Thank you, Mr. Sylvester. LA. Never been out that way, but I plan to. We're going to go back over there by the truck. You can be able to carry it. It's a brand new one there.
Yep.
This is kind of where we stage. Also, guys, whenever you pour in paint, either do it in an area, on the rocks or something where it's not going to matter a whole lot if you spill it. But also, or have a tarp. The last thing you want to do is dump some paint down on that concrete out there, because that stuff, you'll play heck getting it up. So protect your parking lot if you're pouring. So that's probably going to have to be shaken and stirred. Y'all got a tool to open it with? Yep. You see this machine, guys? This is a Titan. Greco's are fine too. I prefer Titan. It's basically doing this job on a fast idle. I mean, we can actually rev this up quite a bit more. So these machines, you get a little bit bigger machine than what you think you need, and it doesn't work hard. That'd be like if you had one of these trucks with a little 4-cylinder in it, The engine's got to work so hard to do the same amount of work. So always like have a little bit bigger engine. That way the machine's relaxed. You're not running all them high-pitch RPMs out here, because it's obnoxious to hear that for too long. But what you hear it's really quiet. So Apex there is going around this paint can, open up the top of it. Hope it's yellow. Let's see. There you go. You got a little stir stick around. Just kind of scrape the bottom of it, make sure. This has all been shaken by the paint store, but that was yesterday, so I always like to kind of make sure. How's it feel on the bottom?
Yeah. No thickness at the bottom.
So sometimes this paint is settled, guys. And yes, we can use a stir paddle. Oh, we dropped a little bit. But if you use a stir paddle, you really have no sensation of what's going on at the bottom of the paint if it's settled in the bucket. So, you know, I like to kind of do it manual. I'm a little particular about my paint. And, but yeah, you can kind of feel with that stick if it's clumped up on the bottom. So let's go ahead and transfer. How much we got in here?
We got about a quarter bucket.
Fill it up to about 60%. Don't make a mistake, you live.
60%.
That's good enough. All right, we ready to rock and roll. Just that quick, a little fill up. Look at that, in the rocks. We're gonna have to cover that up. Here, hold this for a second. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get my water.
All right. Okay.
All right, ask me some questions.
Alrighty. Dude, there's so many. I gotta scroll all the way up so I don't skip anybody.
I know. Yep, it's hard to get every one of them.
Okay, James Bass said, working for free? Not here, LOL.
No, we don't want to do that. I've done it before. Trust me.
Michael Potter says, we got a week left in Michigan. Who needs help finishing the season warmer?
There you go. Hey, you can bring it indoors. Pressure washing and striping. A lot of indoor work that can be done during the winter months. Trust me. We do a lot of it because in the winter here we get rain for days sometimes. So we go after some of those inside jobs.
Yep, and Stang 4JD says, what's up? I'm also a Billy Davidson from Corpus Christi, Texas. I subscribed to your channel about 2 weeks ago. Good stuff. Going to get your online course. Hopefully I can start soon in my area.
Absolutely, Corpus Christi. So we got identical names. Probably, who knows? It might be Kim. We probably need to do a little ancestry check there. That's pretty cool. Billy Davidson. Do they call you William or do they call you Billy? Because my birth name is Billy, but I've been called William. I've been called David, and I've even been called a few choice words by Apex. But you know. You think there's any other Jacob Bronstons around?
I don't think so.
Boy, thank God.
Big Rob says, anywhere it's hot and humid.
I know, but that mildew is renewable money right there. It's like the gift that keeps on giving, you know?
Yeah. It's like if you have a city big enough, the roofs are gonna, like, everything's gonna get back dirty before you can finish washing it all. It's like renewable energy. It's renewable work.
Yeah, sometimes very renewable, like every few months, you know? Like when we do those Sonics, I mean, that's renewable dirt to be cleaned.
Michael Potter says seal/stripe/hot patch.
Beautiful, man. That's some big money in that hot patching. I keep telling guys all the time, curb repairs, pothole repairs, hot patching. Look, there's more money into that than you can even imagine. The striping, you know, power washing pays really good. But man, get in there and do it. You know, you can learn how to repair a pothole, you know, and make some big money doing them. Curb repairs. You did some curb repairs over the weekend for me.
Yeah, it turned out great.
Man, I wish we had a picture of him.
I do have a picture. I'll bring it up momentarily.
Let me hold you right here. He's got a picture of a piece of a curb repair. We're going to talk about this here This would be a good little.
And I striped it too. That 1 foot segment.
Yeah. So what we did here, we had a ballard pole that keeps getting tagged at a local bank, and it bending the pole over, breaking the curbing because the ballard pole is mounted into the curbing. Y'all about to see this. Just about the third time we've repaired it. So we figured we would paint the curbing a little bit. That's it right there. So we put a little red around it, and so far it hasn't been hit yet. So look, I can see my phone and your phone. This is
You're
like
watching your live stream.
This is infinity.
Yeah, it's keeping on going. There's another smaller window right there.
I see that. That's infinity. Let's see how far we can go down. And don't even get me started in quantum physics.
Dude,
I can go on and on about that. I love quantum physics. People want to know what my hobby is, guys. It's boring, but it's quantum physics and astronomy. The moon, the stars, the universe, the galaxies, orbital mechanics, theories and laws.
Dude, James Bass, this comment is a total bombshell, okay? Dude, oh my Lord. He says California has just signed a new law banning small engines on lawnmowers, leaf blowers, weed eaters, chainsaws, etc., etc.
So what, they supposed to go electric, battery powered?
Dude, that's a small engine on that machine.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But you know what? There are machines, guys. If you go to Truline, Trusco, Trusco, Trusco or Truline, they have pneumatic powered machines and battery powered machines. It's a little bit different setup. I've used one a lot, so I'm very experienced with them. I took this little $700 or $800 machine one time. We striped a $17,000 job with it, and we used it for years after that. So, and it costs like less than $1,000. So it's air, compressed air. So it's still airless. So you have a hopper, you put your paint in it, and obviously you pump air into the top of it. You compress the air on the top of it, and it pushes the paint out. The only thing I didn't like it because it does use more paint. So, but that being said, if you striping indoors where you absolutely cannot have a combustion engine, those Trusco units are incredible for that. Now, like I said, I've done big parking lots with it. It uses a bit more paint, but in a pinch, you can definitely use them. And they use latex. You can do oil-based, solvent-based, all of that for different applications.
Well, I'm about to hand Big Chris this
okay.
headlight.
Yeah.
When he gets done with that line.
Yeah, this is pretty well lit in here. Now, when we get in between here, guys, this is where the lighting, and that's if we can fit. We could probably stripe this one coming from the other direction. Let's look at this one. Some of these shadows will play tricks on you in between these vehicles. Yep, that one won't be too bad either.
Yeah, it is well lit. He still has power in that thing. He's saving it.
All right, let's see what we got going on here.
All right.
We trained a lady to stripe too. So she's, maybe my second or third lady that's did the all-pro striping course and doing well with it. Look, you don't have to be a big grown man to stripe this. You can be a petite lady, you can be a petite man, you can be a big man. It's all the same. A child could push that machine. It's not that difficult. It's just, the techniques and the knowledge behind it. So yeah. We've had people with some physical disabilities do very well at striping. And one thing, it's good exercise too. I mean, you push, it's not hard to push, but you are pushing a little weight.
Yeah, and Rubik says Graco has an electric version. Man, what'd be cool is if they came out with a Milwaukee M18 brushless striping machine, took the same battery as the rest of the lineup. That'd be pretty rad.
Hey, I got a Tesla, so I'm all in on electric. I've been knocked for buying a Tesla, but guys, I put 1,000 miles on my Tesla in September. Not quite 1,000, maybe 900 something. And the electricity it used was like $6 and something. So, go figure that out when you're buying gas, Now, that, of course, the Tesla's not for everything. We run at routes, estimating and accounts payable, that stuff like that. But it's almost the cost of running the car is nothing, basically.
Yeah, I'll take that.
So I'm all for if they come up with an electric striper, we'll be in good shape.
All right. And Rubik's is asking, how much paint do you buy at a time, Billy?
As much as I can get, man.
Yeah.
Here lately, it's been a little weird trying to get paint, but we've had a lot of good luck with it. But yeah, sometimes 70, 80 gallons, sometimes more, sometimes a little less. But as much as I can get, pretty much. I've bought hundreds of gallons at a time, when we have a big job. So we always like to try to keep 50 or 60 gallons sitting in the shop because if there's a little bump in the road with supply chain, we can still go out and hand select, do some jobs that are paying a premium. And that's what I've always done. Just during this shortage, I have some paint on at the shop, but if the customer, I explain to the customer, hey, paint's in really high demand, short supply, so if I don't use this paint on your job, it'll go somewhere else for sure. So that's the way the ball rolls sometimes.
Yeah, and Wild West says, Apex, what did you do with that beater you were racing around your neighborhood? Well, I'll tell you, Wild West, my JDM car, my classic car, a JDM Icon, it is currently sitting at my old property, just in storage. I haven't had time to work on it or do anything with it. I've been so busy working, it's just, I don't have time for it right now. And Arthur says, can you briefly describe how your wash business storefront signs, please?
How I wash storefronts and
Yeah.
signs
Yeah.
very carefully. So whenever you're doing storefronts with signs on it, let's say this sign here, it's a backlit sign. It could be, you could be dealing with LEDs, you can be dealing with fluorescents or whatever. That can handle some sodium hypochlorite. You don't want to go too strong on it. No more than about a 1% is about the strongest I would use around that sign. But also I would pre-wet that sign as well. And most likely, if the sign has a lot of spider webs, mildew, stuff like that, we'll hand clean it. So obviously you got to be charging for that. You can't just give them a price and you spend an hour and a half up there on a ladder brushing it out. And guys, remember, sodium hypochlorite's got sodium in it, hence the word sodium hypochlorite. Salt is an electrolyte. These signs can handle falling water. That's what they're designed for. They get rained on all the time. But that's fresh water. It's not going to handle too much salt water because of electrolytes. And then there's components in that you could cause corrosion, and you can electrify yourself washing these. There's a lot of voltage running through those signs. So long story short, be careful around them. Charge a lot to clean because it's going to take you some time, and also use your sodium hypochlorite very sparingly around and pre-wet them first. And if you little apprehensive about it, do a little small section. I'd rather see you have to do something with one letter than all 50 letters up there. Do a little test spot. If you think that 1% is even going to screw them up, don't use that. But so you got to get those prices up when doing storefronts and signages. Because that, if that side of that building didn't have a sign on it, man, I could rip through that in 45 minutes or so, maybe even less than that. That sign right there is going to cost me another 45 minutes to an hour dealing with it. So, it is what it is.
Time is money.
Yeah, in this world, unfortunately, that's what it comes down to sometimes.
Arthur's asking, did y'all tap into the multiverse?
I wish.
Comment like that.
There may be some truth to it. Who knows? Quantum physics does show that there's different realities than, just like our cell phone service signal, we don't see it coming and going. There's also radio waves around us. There's other things, I'm sure, that's still yet to be discovered.
And Jose Rodriguez says, is one pass not enough?
Why'd you roll your R's on it? So this line right here is a little wide, so we could do it all in one pass, but we let our customer know we do about a coat and a half, a good heavy coat, and then a light coat under it. On top of it. So what we've elected to do to make sure we can get the best looking job, we want to do 2 passes on it and use a little bit smaller tip width. That way we can do one side then the other. And you could, like I said, you could do it in one pass. This machine's very well capable of doing a 12-inch line, but I feel the edges aren't quite as crisp as if you do it in 2 passes. Do it one on the right side, one on the left. Also, you need to learn more about that. That's in our striping course at BillyDavidsonVIP.com. We kind of go over that, how to upcharge for that second coat, why you want to do it. We got a sample contract in there as well. But there are times we do it in one pass, but sometimes we elect to do it like this. Just it looks a little bit better, and it's hard to get a parking lot looking perfect. We really try to, like, we go out of our way to make things as best as it can be. But at the end of the day, we're not painting in some side of someone's kitchen, so the ground's bumpy, the surface is bumpy. You got to roll this device across it. You got a little bit of breeze blowing, so you got to let your customers know, hey, it's a parking lot. We do the best we can, and want to make it look good. I've seen some horrible jobs, so that's no excuse to go do a bad job. But you got to realize this is not as precise as painting some triple crown molding, if you will.
And Davey Penny, he's got a really interesting comment.
Okay.
He says, Billy, store the pails of paint upside down to avoid it all settling on the bottom of the pail. Flip it back the day you are painting.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we do that with our full ones that haven't been opened. But if we have an opened one, we tend not to want to turn those upside down just in case something goes up. That little O-ring around, that seal around the cap sometimes falls out or gets crimped a little bit. But yeah, you're right. You can store them upside down.
And Arthur says, awesome. And Davey Penny says, as long as it still has a factory seal, they should be okay. And yeah,
that's right. Yep, as long as you got that factory seal. Sometimes we'll take a cap off and then paint dries on the seal for whatever reason. Some's got on it while it was shaking or whatever. And I just don't trust that seal once it has dried hard paint on it. But yeah, if it's been unopened, by all means, you can turn it upside down. Now, that being said, guys, I've seen where they go to shake paint, factory paint, and the top flies off of it. So I would hate for 5 gallons of paint to leak out in the bed of your truck and onto the ground, and you have a little crumb trail leading you all the way from your shop to your job.
And Brian Fletcher asks, are y'all in Birmingham?
No, sir, Brian. We're actually near Hammond, so but it won't be long. We were just looking over our itinerary, and Birmingham is pretty much next on the list. So we've got a few things to tie up over here, and then we're going to be traveling again.
And Wild West says, what is Big Chris doing when he's rubbing at the end of some of the stripes?
So he's just making sure that very end where he starts his line has no buildup on it, because sometimes you have a little something there called pooling. It really doesn't matter too much. It would probably be dry by the next 15-20 minutes, but it's kind of a little thing that he does just to make sure that paint is not pooled up very at the beginning of it. I have seen it where some guys didn't use the correct tip, didn't have the correct viscosity of it, and the end of the line would actually be convex or concave depending on which way they had their tip turned. So but nonetheless, when you first pull that trigger, you need to be into your first step already. You don't pull the trigger and then walk. You don't want to walk and then pull the trigger, but it has to be simultaneously. And that's really important to get that kind of that dexterity down where it's good to go. And I tell guys all the time, if they say practice makes perfect, but not necessarily. You can develop some bad habits if you're practicing poorly. So perfect practice makes perfect. So you want to develop some good habits on striping, pushing these lines, starting and stopping, that sort of thing, because sometimes you can develop a bad habit, man. It's hard to break them.
And Rubik's 15 says, I'm thinking about adding bulb replacement for parking lot lights. If the math is right, some businesses want to replace bulbs to more efficient options.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You can make a ton of money. We was actually following a van the other night that replaces bulbs. He just had a van. Was that you with me or Big Chris?
I was with you.
So is a van with a little bucket arm on top of it. I mean, it wasn't between the van and the bucket. You'd get up to these poles, but not much higher. But it was very specifically purposed out for that, changing these bulbs. And yes, there's some money to be made. Car dealerships get those light. They don't allow a light to burn out at a car dealership. Let's say if you got a Ford dealership in town, guys, and I don't know if y'all know all about some of this stuff, so we'll kind of share a little bit of it. Please hit that like button if this has been helpful once we talk about it. But car dealerships, and gas stations may be privately owned. But trust me, they have someone looking over them. Ford Motor Company dictates everything about a Ford dealership. And if one light bulb is out, then they have a problem. If the sidewalks are dirty, they have standards. Same thing with gas stations. The oil company that provides the fuel for the gas station oftentimes dictates the color of the gas station, the parking, the striping, the pressure washing, the window cleaning, dictates some of the prices inside the store, the merchandise. So there's a lot of people looking over some of this stuff. And getting back to the original point about the light bulbs, one light blown at a car dealership is a huge problem for them. So they always want to get those changed rapidly. Oftentimes they change them after so many hours or days, whether they blown or not, they get changed. So changing light bulbs is definitely a really good thing to look into. I know in some areas it does require some type of licensing or something. I'm thinking necessarily to be an electrician, but you may want to look into it for your certain area. All right, what else we got, Apex?
John Cormer says, just watch the course. Awesome info. Would never thought guys better buy it ASAP.
I appreciate that, man. Appreciate those that endorsement. Yeah, look, we literally put our heart and soul into that course. I mean, it was exhausting. And you guys, the ones that watch it, y'all probably got some clips in there of me being totally exhausted. We were working 12, 15 hours a day and trying to record training pods. So, but it's all there. So it's it's the information's there, and it'll be there for you. And once you buy the course, you have access to it indefinitely. And I know some people gripe at me by saying it's expensive. There is a cost to it, but I don't think it's expensive because of what it's going to do for you in the long run. And maybe not even that long run. It could be next few weeks. You could have a different outlook on things in just a month or two. So it's could be important.
Ricky says, is it harder to get contracts for striping or pressure washing?
I think striping's easier, actually, because this is mandated. This is mandatory.
Yeah, like you said the other day to that person, you can let the roof get dirty, if you don't have a lot of money, but that striping.
You fail an ADA, and they will fine the heck out of them. Someone has a slip and fall, Unfortunately, we went in behind slip and falls. Got a person in a wheelchair or some type of other mobility device slip on an ADA ramp and go down. That's tragic. I mean, obviously the person's not in the best shape already, or they wouldn't be in a wheelchair or a walker or something.
Yeah.
So I mean, it can get serious. So the businesses know that they have to have that done, and it's federal law. So go get look. There's money out there waiting on you right now. So go get it.
Davey Penny says, I've been painting stripes for 10 years. I started by myself. This year, thanks to you, Billy, just bought a brand new Titan 3500.
So he's got a Titan 3500. It's a beautiful machine, guys.
How much paint you want?
You could put the rest of it in there. So what else we got going on? We need to clean our tip guard, any?
Yeah, I'm gonna clean that.
Grab a touch of mineral spirits. We're gonna kind of constitute this a little bit. Just put it right on top. Just a cap two or a couple capfuls, and that's it. All right, that's enough. It's a good deal. Sometimes, guys, as you're striping, you need to check this tip guard. The paint will dry on it, so those need to be wiped off periodically throughout the night. I get this question a lot about how much gas these use. I probably stripe 4 hours on that small tank of fuel, gallon and a half of fuel in it. I like to use that 93 octane if I can, because it don't use hardly anything, so may as well run some good stuff through it. And again, this machine's RPMs are about 1/4 of what it can achieve. and is striping this parking lot with ease, not even breaking a sweat. Hold that for a second. I'm running my truck. You can read.
Ricky says, well explained. You guys are awesome. Well, thanks, Ricky. Rubik says, good info, Billy. I checked my local laws. They want you to have OSHA 30-hour training, but no license.
Yeah, that's easy enough. OSHA 10 or OSHA 30 construction, because there's different types of OSHAs out there. A lot of you guys, y'all got it already. I know a bunch of y'all have worked different situations where you had to have your OSHA training. It's a lifetime membership anyway. If you don't have it, go get it. I mean, it's a lifetime deal. Makes you kind of feel better that you got it. You accomplished something. You know, a lot of us out here hadn't had a chance to go to college. So, you know, you get these little wins under your belt, get your OSHA training, and there's some other specific types of training that you can acquire. You don't necessarily need it for striping, but you know, it kind of makes you feel good about yourself. Wouldn't you say, Jacob? Like OSHA training?
Yeah.
Do it online, most of it. And
let's get back over here where you were in the shadows.
Yeah.
Just to our right here.
Oh, you want to come over this side?
Yeah, we want to keep our shadows out. You were right the first time.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, we're set up. We can see the line. We got Big Chris. Okay. So, Chris Damien is asking, how exactly do you quote parking lots?
Pressure washing, we do about a square foot. Striping, we pretty much do it by the linear footage. And it's complicated because there's a lot of items in this parking lot. There's these lines, there's wheel stops, there's curbing, there's pole bases, there's directional arrows, ADA. So we take all of those prices, bundle them up. If you need some help on that, the All Pro Striping course has about 2 hours of content in there that teaches pricing. I thought that was so important because once you learn how to do it, you learn how to do the equipment, you learn how to do the paints. You need to learn how to make the money. The money's there. There's no reason not to earn it. Your competitor will get more if you don't go for it. You know, sometimes these people don't want to pay for the cheapest estimate anyway. So there's no reason to leave that money on the table. Also want to mention Brian Fletcher. He's taken a course. We've actually become friends. Apex, you're not going to believe this. He goes through the course, okay? True story. I got the video on my phone right now. I may upload it and dictate over it here in the next few days with his permission. He goes through the course. He, instead of buying a $4,000 machine, he buys another machine because we teach how to find good used equipment. We need to move over. So we teach how to find good used equipment in the course. This guy finds a piece of equipment for $200. Now, he knew it ran, but he was sending me video clips. We was conversing back and forth. I said, look, get the machine. The cart's worth $200. If the pump is bad, it's bad, and we'll deal with it later. But ironically, he gets this thing home, cleans it up. Like I said, we were texting back and forth, sending some video clips, let me look at it. He tries it out. The thing is as strong as just strong as like new. For $200, he basically has a $4,000 machine that, even if it only lasted him 6 months, would be negligible. You just buy another one. You can buy another $4,000 machine every 6 months with the money you're making. But just that one little thing paid for the entire course fees. You know, he buys a machine for $200 that works perfectly. So, wow. But that's Brian Fletcher. He commented a little earlier. Brian, if you're still on, you can go ahead and chime in. If I missed something in the story, correct me. But I believe it was $200 even is what he paid for it. I think the guy was wanting a little more, and they negotiated. I think he had to drive for it. I think he went a couple hours out of his way to get it. But man, that's
worth.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and John Deziki says, the courses are way cheap compared to any kind of course that I am looking at dealing with real estate or computers.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember him telling me that. Yeah, you're right. You know, we've had other people tell us we should jack the price of the course up to 3 times the amount it is. You know, I mean, sure, I'd like the extra money, but I feel that the more hands we can get this in, the more lives we're going to change. You know, literally changing someone's life and changing maybe their perspective on their career. Even I mean, you know, it's very gratifying to know someone has went from worrying about making ends meet to, you know, taking extravagant vacations. So it's been real humbling for us, to say the least. What else we got on there? Apex.
Okay, Davey Penny says it's a very nice machine. Love everything about it. And Rubik says, pro tip, get a good measuring wheel. I went through 3 cheap ones before getting a solid Milwaukee. Hey,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah,
I'm a Milwaukee man myself. I tell you, that's quality.
Yeah, we got some couple good measuring. We ended up losing ours. Like, I think one of them I left on the job. I leaned it up against the pole. And, you know, it's probably still there somewhere.
Yeah, Fred Jeff says, Freddie from Biloxi, what a good machine that y'all prefer to use. Man, those Titans, bro, they're good machines.
Titan 3500, these Titan 2850s are a little hard to get right now because of all the supply chain. But the Titan 3500 will do everything this machine does as well, and it's a little bit modern technology. So, but yeah, I've had a chance to play with them. Asphalt Kingdom's got them. We actually got a little web page with them where they sponsor us and kind of get a little bit better rate than normal. I may drop that down in the comments or something once we hop off this live, if y'all want to look at some of their equipment. And I know the owner of Asphalt Kingdom personally. Excellent person, stand-up character, you know, so they're not going to push some equipment on you that's not going to last. I mean, this equipment, if you take care of it, it'll last for years. I got one machine in the shop. We crunk it up today. It's 14 years old. And, third pull?
Yeah.
It was running.
Just loping, idling away.
Yep. And the engine's never been rebuilt. The pump's been rebuilt a few times, but 14 years old, so how can you beat that, you know?
And Chris Demain says, is it true that soft washing a roof is priced higher than soft washing a house? If so, why?
Yeah, like 3 times as much. Because of the risk you're running, man. You actually putting much stronger sodium hypochlorite solution on that roof, so that can damage the plants around the house. Not damage it, kill them. You know, if you're not doing the proper plant property protection. So the answer to your question, risk are higher. Also, if you have to go on the roof, you tie it off. So there's a lot of aspects in it. It makes it a little more difficult, a little more challenging. But at the end of the day, the money is, in general, 2 to 3 times more than what you would per square foot when pressure washing a house. We actually got a little course on that as well, how to soft wash a roof. It's on BillyDavidsonVIP.com. We'll go over the pricing, techniques, chemical solutions to make it easier on you for sure. And I think that course is about an hour long, about an hour, maybe a little more, a little less, but it goes over everything you need to start cleaning shingle roofs, even if you don't have a soft wash skid. You know, you could knock some out for sure. Let's go catch up with Big Chris.
He's on this line here. We got the long shot. Y'all can see the whole line down. Yes, sir. Okay.
I don't know how much battery I got. I started out with 55%.
Yeah, we are well over an hour, and you guys are killing it on likes, by the way. We've got 28 people in the stream with 36 likes.
Oh, nice, Apex.
All right. Adrian Bowie says, where are you guys tonight?
We're in Hammond. Adrian, are you from Jacksonville? I know there's another Adrian here too as well. See if Adrian will leave a comment. I believe Adrian's from Jacksonville.
And Do It All Garage says, I'm working tonight too, boys. Shopping center in Katy, Texas, waiting on the tank to fill. Y'all be safe, boys.
Man, nice. Make some money. We've done that before. You got to wait on that tank to fill. Man, if you can get a double feed going to it or tap into a fire hydrant, that's the way to go. Man, I'm about ready for a sandwich, Apex.
I hear that.
You know what would go good right now? Like a Firehouse sub, even a Subway, Quiznos, or Arby's.
Man, got that sandwich money earlier. You're gonna go spend it.
$4.99, baby.
Yeah, that's a good point, Wild West. The cost of the chemical, 1% versus 5 to 6%
That's
SH.
true. Yep, you're gonna spend some more money on SH.
Okay, and Rubik says Asphalt Kingdom matches line striping equipment cost, I believe. Billy is right. They are a stand-up company.
Oh yeah, look, them are Sherwin-Williams, but I like the personal touch that they put on it. Judd is, like I said, he's a friend of mine. I've talked to him extensively. We've done YouTube videos together, but I've talked to him just on the phone when no one else was listening. It was just us two. And I'm telling you, the guy is, he wants the best for you. He's not going to sell you something that's going to be less than, what you're expecting. You're going to be wowed by the equipment they have, for sure.
Man, I like the technique he's doing. He's being really efficient. He's John Daziki says he's got $4.99 super chat. Get an Arby's French dip.
Oh man, I may have to really do that. Seriously.
I've had that French dip in Swiss. They're pretty damn good. All right. And
was it like a barbecue or?
So it's it's just roasted. It's a roast beef and Swiss cheese on a bun, and they give you a hot cup of juice. It's called Anjou. It's like a meat juice kind of deal.
Oh, I see.
You dip in that, dude. It's so freaking good. You dip the sandwich in it, and take a bite. Dip it, take a bite. It's so freaking good.
Open?
I don't know if Arby's is open. Let's step to our right. We can,
6 miles from here, I believe. Check that phone. I'm serious. Let's check it right here on live. Man, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Is Arby's open?
Arby's near me. All right, we got one. It is open.
Dang.
Open 24 hours.
24/7. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Man, I said I was going to try to eat good today, too. Now y'all done got me wanting Arby's. Probably get a salad tomorrow, right?
Yeah, Eric Sanchez, he's asking Adrian Bowie, is the course any good? And Adrian Bowie says yes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I've had one person say it wasn't top notch, and it's kind of hard to brag about your own stuff, but literally, guys, we put everything into that, so you could make a lot of money doing it. What they say, you can't twist somebody's arm to do it, but I can urge you to do it, man. If you got some parking lots in your area that are faded, probably a good sign for you to get into this. Well, guys, I don't know if my battery may go out on y'all and just die on you. So it's not like we're trying to hang up on your face. It's just this cell phone's got to be replaced. This thing's done been abused.
And
we got a lot of comments.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up. Big Rob says, Billy, have you had any experience washing Sherwin-Williams yellow color?
Washing it?
I think he might be talking about removing it, like washing Sherwin-Williams yellow.
Oh, yeah, I've removed Sherwin-Williams paint before. Good luck with it. It's tough, but it's doable. And, we also teach that some shortcuts in removing these lines if you ever need it, or if you screw up out here, how to get this stuff up without coming out here with grinding wheels and stuff. Yeah, some of this stuff bulletproof, man. Once it dries, it's high intensity PSI to remove it if you don't have the correct chemicals.
And Eric Sanchez, he says, Apex, why is you working for Billy when you own your own business, bro? Well, I'll tell you this, man. This man right here taught me everything I know. I've learned so much from him. And I just like working with these guys. It's a very reliable, consistent income. And with my set of circumstances in my life right now, I've got people counting on me.
People, plural? Oh, boy.
Let's tell the
story. It's plural now.
So I actually am expecting my first child. We are 9 weeks along. It's a whole new chapter of my life. And Billy has really provided me with guidance and just provided a very stable income for me. And man, I'll tell you what, I'll do a couple of my own jobs on the weekend if I get an off day, but just having that stable income, all of that official stuff, it's a freaking lifesaver. Like,
real income, real trackable income. You know, it goes a long ways buying a home.
all right. And Big Rob was talking about, I was talking about house washing yellow paint.
Oh yeah, man, you got to be careful with that. So your sodium hypochlorite does not need to exceed about 1%, and I also would pre-wet that wall as well, because unfortunately they used some organics in their paint a few years back, and strong SH will screw it all up. So you got to be really careful with that. Picking up a little air.
Yeah.
And they have to go on flush. Let me see.
He's got 50% on his level.
Yeah, it's just some bubbles. Let's see back here. How's this looking? Looks pretty good. No skips in it.
His lines look solid, sharp and solid.
Which ones did we paint? Let's go walk up here. I'm gonna check see if they dry already.
All right.
So we painted these.
We've done both of those. We've done all three of those pallets. We've done RV lines here. I'd say the first line we painted is over there to the right on that last pallet.
That's been so long ago.
Oh, yeah.
I want to look at these right here. I know that's definitely dry. All right, you'll come down here and take a look. This was what, about 15 minutes ago, dry. Now, I probably wouldn't take a car tire and try to peel out on it, but someone could roll over this and they're not going to track this paint nowhere. And if we use the wrong paint, like Apex almost did on his other job, this could be wet for 3 days. And guess what? These people need to be open in the morning. They will open in the morning. And cars will be running over this. If it's wet for 3 days, you're going to have to disappear. This is nothing you can do. I mean, you're going to go into hiding and not answer your phone call. They're going to be ringing your phone off the hook. And I've seen the worst of the worst happen out there. People use the wrong paint. This stuff would be everywhere, man. Every car tire would be in people's cars, get tracked into the store. But not if you use the correct paint for the correct temperature. It's really important.
Yeah, guys, quality product. You don't have to babysit it. That's just, it's so worth it.
We don't even have a cone out here because, I mean, this parking lot is pretty vacant now, but, you know, even if it was a shopping center, I wouldn't have it coned off because it's going to dry within minutes.
All right.
Man, that Arby's does sound good. Oh,
Yeah.
cheese. Maybe we do go get one before we hit ADA.
Yeah, and Eric says, hey, no hate or disrespect, but hey, keep up the good work, Apex. I learned from both of you guys, just wondering why. Yeah, man, that's why. He says, congrats on the family, Apex. Yeah, man, I'm just taking life one step at a time.
Yeah, I've had a few people that I've trained up and they doing their own thing now and started their own businesses. And it's a good deal sometimes to train a guy up and he goes out and succeeds. So.
And Brian Hamilton says, hey, Billy, thanks for putting the 50-foot hose back on the spray rig. Like you said, has fixed our hourglass issue we had. Thank you, brother. And
I remember that. Yeah, they had a shorter spray hose. So yeah, yeah, I'm glad that fixed. I forgot about that. But yeah, there's a lot of things about these machines that have to go into play to make this job look good. And you know, he was a student of the striping course as well, so we got him back up and running rapidly.
Yep. And we just got a low battery warning on our phone.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, let's Got any one or two more comments and.
All right. Wow, Wes says Billy's stomach's gonna start eating his backbone.
Man, I'm hungry, y'all, and plus I gotta charge my phone. Guys, I guess we're gonna wrap this up because this battery has been giving me trouble. I've been trying to charge it here and there, and it's slow to charge. And I got this charger at home, this wall charger that's a rapid charger, but I don't have it here with me. But guys, look, if y'all need our help, y'all know how to get in touch with us. Go check out our website, BillyDavidsonVIP.com. If you need some of that training, we'd appreciate you getting it from us. We can go buy some sandwiches with it tonight. And also, it could be life-changing for you guys. This is the real deal. We hear a big Chris, Apex, and give everybody a shout before we roll. It's Apex. Myself, guys, we love y'all. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see y'all in the next video.